So what are the odds of a random person being able to identify this man? I would guess incredibly low, practically zero. What if we swapped photos to, say, this guy? Ah yes, those odds just skyrocketed, didn't they? The irony is that, were it not for this man, you'd probably be wondering who this guy is, and what would his car company be named? Oh, I'm pretty sure he would be more creative than that. So let's get to it. Why devote an entire video to just one obscure man? Meet Nikola Tesla, a Serbian-American born in the mid-1800s with a gift for disruptive electrical innovation. While the world was illuminated by candlelight, Tesla came up with an electrical system known as alternating current, or AC. If AC sounds familiar, it's what powers every home on this planet, contributing to the second industrial revolution in history. Well, wait a minute, you might be thinking, what about Thomas Edison, the inventor of the light bulb? Perhaps you thought he was the father of modern-day electricity. After all, well, he did invent the light bulb. Wrong. Edison didn't invent the light bulb. He figured out how to sell the light bulb. He improved upon the ideas of over 20 others who pioneered the light bulb before him. Early on, Tesla actually admired Edison and went to work for him. Having moved to New York from France in 1884, Tesla got a job at the Edison Machine Works as an engineer. Here, Edison made the famous offering of $50,000 to Tesla if he could make his DC generators more efficient. True to his word, Tesla returned a few months later with an improved design and, of course, asked for his money. To which Edison replied, "When you become a full-fledged American, you will appreciate an American joke." He instead offered Tesla a raise. Well, Nikola resigned on the spot. He was so furious with Edison, he chose to dig ditches rather than help him further. Eventually, he was hired by George Westinghouse and his mustache. They were both big fans of alternating current. The thing is, Edison was not a scientist nor a mathematician. He just simply hired them. So yeah, Tom was more of a CEO than a renowned inventor. After the fallout with Edison, and with financial backing from Westinghouse, Tesla formed his own company as well as pioneering his alternating current, which ignited a massive feud with Edison, dubbed the War of the Currents. Now, Tesla's direct current used thinner wires and had higher voltages, which could carry electricity over greater distances. Edison's direct current required a power plant every 2 square miles and had very limited range. So you might assume that Edison, knowing he's beat, would somehow find a way to emulate alternating current and give up on his DC project. Nope. Well, Tom decided to run an elaborate smear campaign to prove that Tesla's AC model posed a serious safety risk. He staged public events where various animals were executed and killed with the use of alternating current. Animals like dogs, cats, and even an elephant named Topsy. Seems like the only thing Edison really pioneered was how to be the world's biggest asshole. Hey, ever hear of Marconi? He won a Nobel Peace Prize in physics for inventing radio. Everything he did was based on Tesla's previous work in the radio space. In fact, after Marconi became famous for sending the first transatlantic message, Tesla responded by saying, "Marconi is a good fellow. Let him continue. He is using 17 of my patents." Oh, and that thing called radar? Well, an English scientist by the name of Robert Watson Watt was credited with this invention in 1935. And guess who came up with the idea like 17 years prior? Tesla. Only when Tesla pitched the idea to the Navy at the beginning of World War I, the head of Navy R&D convinced them that it had no practical application in war. I mean, who wants to know when a German U-boat fires a torpedo at you anyway? And just in case you were wondering who the R&D dumbass was, it was none other than Thomas Alva Edison. You can't make this stuff up. Wilhelm Röntgen is frequently credited with discovering X-rays, yet someone discovered them first and never got credit. Tesla. When X-rays were first discovered, it was believed that they could cure blindness and other ailments. Tesla refused to conduct medical experiments with them, citing that they were too dangerous. Oh, but guess who did? Yep. Enter our favorite asshole, Thomas Edison. He fervently experimented with X-rays on humans as soon as he could. In fact, one of his employees was exposed to so much radiation he had to have both arms amputated to save his life. Unfortunately, even that didn't work because he eventually died of mediastinal cancer. Not only that, Edison nearly blinded himself by repeatedly firing X-rays at his own eyes. How about who invented the first hydroelectric plant at Niagara Falls and proved to the world that this type of power was a practical energy source? Tesla. Who experimented with cryogenic engineering nearly half a century before its invention? Tesla. Who held patents over 100 years ago that were later used in the development of the transistor? You know, the device which started the information age and is responsible for you being able to watch this video. Tesla. Who was the first person to record radio waves from outer space? Edison. Just kidding. It was Tesla. Who discovered the resonant frequency of Earth? Tesla. Ever wonder who invented the remote control, neon lighting, the modern electric motor, and wireless communications? Yeah, Tesla, 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 and Tesla. Allow me to state the obvious. Tesla was a genius. He spoke 8 languages. He could memorize entire books and recite them at will. He visualized entire devices in his head and built them without ever writing anything down. Perhaps the saddest part of this great man's life is at the time of his death at age 86, he was essentially penniless and in debt. In his day, the world demanded results that were both practical and profitable. They didn't want radio astronomy, they wanted light bulbs and vacuum cleaners. His contributions were not only groundbreaking, they were revolutionary. So be sure to circle July 10th on your calendar. It's Nikola's birthday as well as Nikola Tesla Day. Alright, that does it for this episode of Gray Matters. As always, a like and a subscribe is a great way to show your support for the channel. And if you have any ideas for future videos, please feel free to drop a comment. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.